Apple has built something truly futuristic with Vision OS. But what if this wasn't just for the Vision Pro? What if the best parts of its interface came to iPhone, Mac, iPad, and even Apple Watch? Imagine an Apple ecosystem that feels completely seamless, where every device works together in a fluid, intuitive way. This isn't just speculation. It's a natural evolution of Apple's software, and today, we're going to explore how Vision OS can shape the future of Apple's UI. Vision OS is built on three design pillars: depth and spatial UI, smooth transitions, and hand and eye control. Great design isn't about looks, it's about how technology integrates into our lives. And with that, Vision OS does something incredible. It makes technology seem invisible and allows us to focus on what truly matters. Now, let's take that same design knowledge and apply it to other Apple devices as well. Technology should feel invisible, not intrusive. Now, how could this be implemented onto Apple devices? For this to work, let's talk about each device and how they function, and how they can integrate this seamlessly to make sure that each device kind of feels, its own thing, but software-wise, it does feel like it's all uniformed in one piece. With iPhone and iPad, they are our most tactile devices that we use every day. So for those, we can have depth-driven interactive widgets, floating spatial app windows for multitasking, and more immersive animations to make apps feel more fluid. macOS is more of, obviously, a computer, so this approach will be done a little differently. By first having a dynamic folder and dock for layered interactions, a spatial responsive UI that adapts naturally, and finally, intuitive app navigation. Then for watchOS, we can still keep the components as it's supposed to function like a watch, but have it more of a dynamic way. Like, for example, live captions with depth for more intuitive information, hand gesture enhancements inspired by Vision OS, and overall a design that feels more alive. Apple has always been about user-friendly design. By unifying its UI across devices, they can create a seamless experience where switching from iPhone to Mac to Vision Pro feels effortless. If you could redesign iOS to have more Vision OS features, what would you like to add? Go ahead and comment below. Now, yes, Vision Pro is something that's on a more grand scaled level. This is why we have the spatial depth with the cameras, hands to be our, mouse and cursor, all those type of things that make Vision Pro. But what I'm saying is, I know there's going to be complicated advances because it has to work for multiple systems. So that's probably part of the reason why Apple hasn't tried to implement something like this. But, if they don't try, you'll never know. But at the same time, Apple knows that they take their time. And so with having this idea, I feel like with what's presented with the Vision OS software, I feel like this could gear how the other OSs can operate as well. Just doing it in a natural and seamless type of way of how they can implement it where it feels natural. So then that way you have sort of the experience if you don't have a Vision Pro, but you get to see what would it be like if you owned a Vision Pro. Because when I tried Vision Pro, I felt like this was something of a grand scale, next level type of project that through software, Apple could take the idea of Vision OS and implement it through all its operating systems. So then that way it's something that's truly seamless that goes through each product, and it doesn't feel like, okay, this is iPhone, this is iPad, this is Mac, and then this is, strictly Vision OS. If everything kind of comes together seamlessly, it could come to a new approach of how we see our devices, how we function with them. Like an example about, our wallpapers with our iPhones and wallpapers with our iPads. Instead of it just having it be flat, like what if we had a spatial photo wallpaper that seemingly it looks like it's being 3D'd, and how it can make our wallpapers feel alive, just like with the applications. Maybe how when we press on an application, it kind of raises, I guess, like with the Apple Pencil Pro, and how when you hover over it, it kind of raises it at you. So what if we had that type of technology to where it's something so minimal, but it brings a different type of experience of how we use our devices each day? Because the grand scheme of things is like, okay, Vision Pro is such a cool device, and yes, it is very expensive, but I feel like it would entice people more to try Vision Pro when the different OSs and software for its iPhone, iPad, and Mac, we have those sort of Vision Pro experiences on those devices. And so if they can get the taste of having that on those devices, of having it be, at a consumer level friendly device, imagine how enticing it would be for them to want to spend the $3,500. Hopefully it gets a little cheaper, but realistically, yes, how it would be more enticing for them to buy a Vision Pro rather than it be something that's new and they don't know what it is, and they don't know how to, justify spending that type of money to try the ultimate experience of what Vision Pro can be. So with that being said, with WWDC coming around the corner in June, hopefully with iOS 19 that we can have more of a Vision OS integration with the UIs from other Apple devices. Because like I said, this would be a truly great way for people to get some type of exposure with the Vision OS system and be more enticed to go and try Vision Pro for themselves. So maybe this is all a game of chess. It's something that Apple knows that this was something that's going to be a far reach, but having those little nuances to be placed in other Apple devices could really, really help the potential of get people excited for Vision Pro. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Elijah Plus today. This has been Lessons in Technology, and I'll see you in another video.